a blind piano player, wrestler, long distance runner, and a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions across the U.S., are here to tell their story of their unique and incredible journey together. Welcome to the Nancy and Mike Show. Nancy and Mike will engage you with some of the most unimaginable and heartwarming stories of their extraordinary life. So please welcome your hosts, Nancy and Mike.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorek.
And this is Nancy Nova.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. This is the Nancy and Mike Show. Now, it is March 14th, 2026, God inspired, and today is prediction day.
Baseball, right?
I said I would do baseball and talk about past predictions. And next week I'll do my college basketball NCAA picks.
Okay, cool.
Now,
Uh-huh.
one thing last week I mentioned was the wrestling, which I watched almost all of it. The only thing I missed was I missed the consolation rounds because of women's basketball, so that couldn't be helped.
Right.
And I missed an hour because of the radio show. Now, out of the 20 finalists in wrestling, I picked 19 of them to get there.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good.
The only one that didn't get there was Musakis from Ohio, 125-pound class, Ohio State.
Uh-huh.
And Ohio State was ranked number 2 behind Penn State. Now, here's the deal. My predictions, 19 out of 20, it sounds like it's really good,
It does.
but it's really not as good as it sounds
Oh, how come?
because Penn State is head and shoulders
Yeah, it's
above
always winning everything.
everybody else.
I know.
And I will break this down to show you what I mean.
Uh-huh.
There are guys for Penn State. Lilladal, 125, unchallengeable. Shane Van Ness, 149, unchallengeable.
That means nobody can compete.
That means nobody could compete.
Okay.
157, PJ Duke for Penn State. All these guys are Penn State.
Oh, so you just know them.
You just know they're
what
gonna
they're
win.
capable
All
of.
right.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Mitchell Messenbrink, 165. Levi Haynes, 174. And Matt Barr, 197. That's 6 guys who you know are going to win their weight class. Now, so for me to guess those 6 guys is like guessing the Yankees in the 60s. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, you know what you're talking about.
You know what you're talking about. And of course, I watch all the match. I watch the
As much as you
matches
can.
from the Big Ten. I
Yeah.
watched them during the season, so I knew who each team had. And another match that's unchallenged, another weight class is 141. Jesse Mendez from Ohio State. And going in, these people are going to win not only the Big Ten, but they're going to win the NCAA tournament.
Right.
So it's not a big deal to guess. I wish there was a guy from Iowa. His name is Spencer Lee. He was a 125-pound class, and he was practically invincible. And I wish he was still around. I would have liked to have seen Lee from Iowa and Lillidahl from Penn
Yeah.
State. And I'm always, ever since I was in high school,
I know. You like to put things together.
I like to put things together that I would like to see.
A lot of
And
people are like that.
I have to wait till I die to find out what would have happened between these matches that I create. And I used to do that also when I worked out with La Quinta High School in California and Palm Desert. And I would create an all-star team in my head and try to figure out who would win each individual weight
I love
class
it.
between two of the best schools in the state of California.
Yep, that's your
And
fun.
that's part of my play toys. And so that's the deal with the wrestling.
Okay.
I got 19 out of 20. The only one I lost, yeah, I mentioned the one I didn't get right was the guy from Ohio State at 125.
Mhm.
And the other deal is, and before I get into baseball, there's a couple of things.
Okay.
College basketball. Now, I remember saying on the show last week I was 87 and 55, and I had 8 games to go, and I was trying to win 90.
And even though he's not betting any money or anything, he's just doing it for himself. It was very stressful. I'm telling you.
Yes, and I was gonna say how stressful it was,
Yeah,
and
I know.
let me explain why it was so stressful.
Okay. I'm interested.
Because I a few games. One was Richmond. I think it was Richmond and Duquesne. I picked Duquesne. Duquesne was behind by 30 points.
Yo.
It was 40-10 at one time.
Whoa, no wonder you were stressed out.
And Duquesne actually won the game, but they didn't cover the point spread. So I lost that game. And it was 4.5, and I lost by 2.5 points. If I had another 2 minutes, I probably would have won that.
And back.
Way they were coming back. And here's the bottom line that made everything so stressful. I never had a year like this year. After, 150 games. I play 15 weeks, all right? Now, after 148 games, I was 89 and 59. So I'm not there. I got 2 games left, and I'm still not there.
Yeah,
Now, I gotta get to 90.
I know it.
So, what were the last 2 games I had left were Ohio State. I had Ohio State over Indiana,
Yeah.
and Ohio State was favored by 4.5, so I had to win by 5 games, 5 points. It was a blowout. And then there was a game that I specifically mentioned last week
Yeah.
that I thought the point spread was too much, but I was almost wrong. It was Duke and North Carolina. The point spread was 17.5, and Duke won by 15 points. So I just barely won that game. So I ended up 91 and 59. I made it by 1 game, and I had to win the last 2 games in order to do it. It was horrible, horribly stressful. And
And then he had a stressful week on Tuesday. We had to have that procedure to see if there was cancer in his bladder because of last June 25th. So the doctor was so happy. He didn't see any cancer and he was smiling. The nurse was smiling. So we got to go out to eat and have a good time with our friends. Huh, Mike?
Yeah, that was the good part.
Yeah, I always like to bring in the good
The
part.
bad part was my blood pressure was 187/102. I'm
Well, talk about stress. That's stress.
that's stress. And the people at that Oxford place are very nice. It's an hour drive from here. And but I always get scared when I go there because I always associate it with something not good. And if you have bad experience, it scares you.
Hmm.
The past. And this time was no exception. And I wondered what would happen if they found some cancer. What would be the next plan of attack? Well, they didn't find anything, but I think Nancy got stressed out also.
I know.
She didn't know what day it was, and it was a bad. It wasn't a bad trip, but it seemed like it was a bad trip.
It just wore us out.
It wore us out.
It wasn't a bad trip. It had a good uh, outcome, but it just was hard on both of us. That's it.
So anyway, I don't have cancer. Now, last week I was sick. I had a sore throat and I had chest pains. I still have congestion in my lungs, and it feels like if you ever went to the beach and you swallowed too much water in the
Salt
ocean,
water. Yeah, the
salt
ocean.
water,
Yeah.
you get a burning pain in your chest. I still have that. Uh, I
But you
still
sound better.
I still have tiredness.
Mhm.
Yeah, and my voice is better. I
Yeah.
don't have a sore throat. So I'm going the right way, but I'm not across the finish line yet. So anyway, that's where we're at.
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda, uh 2026 baseball predictions.
Okay.
Now, here's what you get. You get 6 teams in the American League and 6 teams in the National League that make the playoffs for those who don't know and understand baseball. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to break down the divisions and then who's going to make the playoffs. And I'll start out with the American League East. Toronto number 1, Yankees number 2, Tampa Bay number 3, Baltimore number 4, Boston number 5. Now that's the uh, American League East, and I got Toronto finishing number 2, and I got the Yankees finishing number 4. Now in the Central,
What's that? I thought you just said Toronto number one.
Toronto number 1 in the division,
Uh,
but number 2 in the overall playoff.
oh, overall. Okay. You didn't say that.
Okay. Now, Detroit, Cleveland, Kansas City, uh, Minnesota, and the White Sox. That's the Central Division. Now, the only team that I got coming out of that is the Detroit Tigers. I have them finishing number 1 in the American League. Uh, then the West, I've got Texas. No, I got uh, Seattle, Houston, Texas, Anaheim, and Oakland.
Well, we got to go to a break. Remember where you're at, Mike. So we'll be right back. This is the Nancy and Mike Show.
Mike Zorich, a 3-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a 6-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and 2 fourths. He also won the Veterans Folk Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorick, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorick has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorick.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. This is the Nancy and Mike Show. I don't know if I said it earlier in the show, but this is show number 34. And today is March the 14th, 2026. Now, when we left,
Yeah,
I
baseball predictions.
was doing the American League, the Western Division. There's 3 divisions in each league, which consists of 15 teams. And in the West, I have Seattle, Houston, Texas, Anaheim, and Oakland. Now, these are the predictions for 2026. Now, how are they going to match up? The first round, Detroit and Toronto will get first round byes. They're number 1 and 2. So what you're going to have is you're going to have Texas against Seattle, and Seattle will come through, and New York against Houston, the Yankees. The Yankees will come through. So you got 1 against 4, which is the Yankees against Detroit. I have the Yankees advancing. And even though Detroit's number 1, I have the Yankees advancing. And I'm going to explain why I have the Yankees advancing over Detroit.
Okay.
And I have Seattle advancing over Toronto. I believe that in the American League, Seattle has the best pitching.
Oh, okay.
So, and I have Seattle beating the Yankees and going to the World Series.
Oh,
Now, here's the way I'm breaking this down.
okay.
Detroit has a pitcher named Derek Skubal, and I have him in July, or maybe even before that. I have him being traded to the New York Mets. Now, who are the Mets? Who should Detroit ask in return? The Mets have extra infielders. So if I'm Detroit, I'm either going to ask for Seager or Bichette.
Okay.
You've got to get major league talent for Screwball.
Yeah, he's
And
great.
the deal with Screwball is this: Detroit has zero chance of re-signing him.
Yeah, I think he's not happy with them.
So the longer they wait, his market value goes down every day that they hang on to him. But anyway,
Okay.
that's the American League. I have Seattle going to the World Series.
Right.
Now let's do the National League. In the National League East, I have Mets number 1, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Florida, Washington. 3 teams will come out of that division. And the Mets will be number 2 overall. Philly will be number 4, and Atlanta will be number 6. Now, in the Central, I have Chicago Cubs, Milwaukee. Both those teams will make the playoffs. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and St. Louis. Pittsburgh has Chaim Bloom, which is, and Pittsburgh has Ben Sherrington, who are 2 of the worst general managers in the history of baseball.
I know you're very critical of
And
them.
they're both were for Boston.
So you
And
know.
so I know how bad they are.
Right.
So here's what it's going to calculate to be.
All right.
The Cubs are going to be number 3, and Milwaukee's going to be number 5.
Who's the number 1?
The Dodgers. I haven't
The
gotten to them.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, in the National League West, it's a powder puff division.
Ah,
There's only one team in there, and that's the Dodgers.
yeah.
But anyway, I got San Francisco finishing 2nd, San Diego, Arizona, Colorado. I don't believe any of those teams will win half their games. It's might be the easiest division in baseball.
It's oh.
So anyway, I got the Dodgers coming out of that. And the way I have it,
Mm.
the Dodgers will get a first round bye. They're number 1.
Yeah.
The Mets will get a first round bye. They're number 2.
Okay.
The 3-6 matchup will be the Chicago Cubs will beat Atlanta. That's the 3-6 matchup. The 4-5 matchup is Milwaukee over Philadelphia.
Mm.
So now we've got Milwaukee and the Dodgers. The Dodgers will come through. And then we've got Chicago Cubs and the Mets.
Right.
And the Mets will win.
Oh.
So, well, it's cool ball, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
And you figure the Mets, they've got all these good. They got Juan Soto, they got Bichette, they've got.
Okay. Okay. I just like Chicago Cubs.
I do too. I would like to see Chicago in the World Series, but I don't think they're there.
Okay.
But anyway, so I've got the Dodgers and the Mets to play for the National League Championship. And the Dodgers, of course, will come through. And the Dodgers will beat Seattle in the World Series. I believe it'll be a short series. Seattle has good pitching, but they can't match the Dodgers' home run power.
Right.
And
Who does Seattle have as a good home run hitter?
they got Cal Raleigh, who is their
Yeah,
catcher,
I have heard of him.
and maybe they're one of their guys that's good is Randy Arozarena,
I like him.
who will
I,
be up there in home
yeah,
runs. But the
I wish him the best.
Seattle has a good pitching staff.
Good.
Their starters and their relievers. So, but I think the real tough series, if there is one for the Dodgers, is going to be the Mets. That'll be the National League Championship,
That'll be the real workout.
and that'll be this tougher for the Dodgers than the World Series will be. So there you have it.
Well, it's exciting. When's baseball going to start? Do you know?
I believe it's going to start on March 24th.
Okay.
Now a lot of teams are starting March 27, but there are a couple of games on the 24th, I think.
Okay, cool.
But anyway,
Well, right now, college basketball, that's the main thing I've been seeing on TV a lot lately.
yes, they've got all these
That's why I couldn't figure out what day it was. It's all this college basketball.
college basketball conference tournaments,
Okay.
which I think are bad for the sport because you could win your division, and if you lose in the college tournament, you may not go to the NCAA tournament. And
Mhm.
so, in other words, the season results on 3 games,
Yikes. That's a lot of pressure.
and
They could just have a bad day.
when
Be a
you
good
yeah
team.
when you play 30 games, what you're really saying, and especially some of these one bid conferences, that the only thing that matters is that conference tournament. And what the conference tournaments, they're terrible. And what I don't like about them, you take the Big Ten, for example.
Okay.
That conference has so many teams that are so good
Yes.
and so physical. By the time they get to the NCAA tournament,
They're
if
beaten up.
if they're beaten up.
Yeah.
So if you're either beaten up or if you lose early, your seeding goes down.
Oh,
So
that's important too.
there's no good way to do this. And Nancy's brother Bob, who is a Big Ten fan, and I've been telling him for years that what the Big Ten should do is abolish their conference tournament. They'll never do it, but that's what they should do. It would
Did he agree
benefit.
with you?
Yes,
Yeah.
it would benefit the conference. So that's what's going on now. Some conferences are in their finals, and some of them are in their semifinals. And so the semifinals means there's 2 games.
Uh-huh.
The Atlantic 10 has 4 teams left, and the Big East has 2, and St. John's and Connecticut are playing, and it's I you see a lot of good games in these conference
Yeah.
tournaments,
Exciting.
but the whole gist of it, this was started out in the 60s.
Oh, wow.
In the Atlantic Coast Conference, they started these postseason
In the
tournaments.
60s. That's been a while.
Yeah, and I remember them. I would listen to them on WBT in Charlotte, North Carolina, when I was living in Connecticut, and they would have these tournaments, and um, only the Atlantic Coast Conference had them, and now everybody has them. Even the Ivy League. But what the Ivy League does is they want to make sure that their last place team never wins the tournament. So they eliminate half the teams. So instead of 8 teams, which consist of the Ivy League, they have 4 teams going to the tournament. So 5 through 8 don't make the
Okay.
Ivy League tournament, which is a better formula.
Great.
And some conferences have it so that
Well, we got to go to a break. We'll be right back. This is the Nancy and Mike Show.
author, radio show host, and coach, John M. Hawkins, reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorek.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. And what I was doing when we left, I was talking about
College basketball?
college tournaments and how they're in this for the money. They think
The schools are? Or
yes, the schools are, and the conferences are, and even if it hurts them personally in the tournament, they feel that these conference tournaments make money, so they're going to do them. Now, I won't be able to make my college basketball predictions until next week because tomorrow is the bracket show.
Oh, you love that show.
And you don't know, you got to see where all these teams are placed, in what region they're going to be in, where the games are going to be played, and all that has a bearing on what you're going to pick. I believe the best team in the country, Duke has some injuries. I thought Duke was number one, but looking at some of these results, I think the team to beat might be the Florida Gators. But even them, I have to see where they're going to be placed and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, their competition.
Their competition and where they're playing. If they're playing at Michigan and they got to play the Michigan Wolverines,
Yeah,
I might pick Michigan to beat them.
Yeah, you have to see where they're going to
You've got to see where they're going to be put, who's around them, and so on and so forth. But
You love it.
I do love it, but I'm getting kind of tired of it. I'm getting kind of tired of these conference tournaments because there's so many teams and it really drags everything out. You know, it lasts a whole week.
I remember that Coach McGuire, he was really into fairness and balance. I remember you really liked him.
Yes, McGuire from Marquette. There was Al McGuire, and there was a Frank McGuire who was from South Carolina. Well, the guy who was fair was, I won't say Frank wasn't fair, but Al McGuire is the guy that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he used to work the game of the week with Dick Enberg.
Yeah.
And that was a great combination. And McGuire, at that time, Marquette many times was ranked number 2 behind UCLA during UCLA's
Wow.
big days.
Yeah.
And what they would do for TV, they would put Marquette against Kentucky in the first round. They would put number 2 against number 3 in the round of. They didn't have 64 teams. They have 68 now. But at that time, they had, I think it was 25 teams.
Oh, wow.
So 25 went down to 16, and you'd have like number 2 and number 3 in the first round
That's
for
not right.
TV purposes. Because, oh, Kentucky Marquette, this is going to be a great
Oh,
game.
so for the money.
Yes. And it was an enjoyable game, but it was way too early for that. That's a game that should have been played in the Final Four.
So Al McGuire tried to get it more balanced.
He tried to equalize it so that it would be more fair. And he created the 64 team bracket. And the thing about the 64 team bracket, there are no buys. But now it's 68. You
That
actually,
mixes it up.
in the first round, you don't have a full bracket. You actually have 4 games in the first round. And listen to this 60 buys.
Oh,
This
that's
is
stupid.
this is what the first round consists of.
That's no good.
And
It has to be more balanced.
it has to be full brackets.
Yeah.
And of course they'll never go back to that. And they want to put more teams. They want to put 96 teams with the sole purpose of eliminating the National Invitation Tournament. That's their goal now.
Oh.
So if you have 96 teams, you have 32 buys. And
Anyway,
and
you
30
are the numbers guy, that's for sure. This goes over my head.
32 games. So, and that gets you down to 64, which is a full bracket number.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's the deal on college basketball and baseball. And I know I'm taking up a lot of time. And Nancy's going to do her wonderful thing, and then we'll see where I go from there.
Well, I just found a nice quote from this Indian girl, a Sioux Indian girl. Her name Sikat Kalasa. And I love this. It's just common sense. Let us not look back in anger, nor forward in fear, but around in awareness. And I got a new translation of a Bible for Christmas, and I really like it. It's just the New Testament and Psalms, but I really liked this translation of Ephesians 4:2. With tender humility and quiet patience, always demonstrate gentleness and generous love toward one another, especially towards those who may try your patience. And that's when you need it. When someone, it, you have to watch out not to resent. And if you know there's going to be someone who's going to be testing your patience, be a little prepared. Have that little space of calmness before you react. And here's another part from our Quiet Time book. It says, to be patient means not allowing yourself to become provoked by what others say or do. And what a difference patient makes. Patience is difficult to produce by yourself, but possible with God. And I just want to just thank God for not yesterday, but the day before. I had some errands to do, and I had like 3 places to go, and It wasn't until I got in the car and I started to cross this big street that the rain came down. And boy, did it come down. Woo! I had the windshield wipers going as fast as they could, and I'm wiping the windows inside the car, and I made it home, but not one drop hit my head before I got into the car. It was like maybe, I was thinking, boy, this light is long. So I was counting to 40. Then I made it across the street, and then the rain came pouring down. So I just want to say thank you to God. We needed the rain here, and I didn't need it on my head. So thanks. And I remember Mike's brother said, well, when you're getting a house, you need a garage. I didn't know it because where we lived before, we had an awning. We didn't have a garage. But when it's pouring down rain, when I can open that garage door and go driving in and get out without any rain on my head, I like it. So that was one of the highlights of not, and the main highlight is when the doctor said, I don't see any cancer. Woohoo! That was my happy thing. And our good friends taking us there and taking us out to dinner. That was fun too. It was a stressful week, but we got through it.
Yeah, the deal with the stress,
Yeah.
at least for me, I didn't know if I did have cancer, what would the next step have been?
Mm-hmm.
And even though you don't know, when we waited Monday, we waited for them to call
Mm.
because they call you at the last minute. They'll say, well,
I know.
come at such and such a time.
And Mike and I lately, we've been wanting to take a nap in the afternoon, but we had to stay awake waiting for that phone call.
And they called between 3 and 4. I said they would call between 3 and 4.
Yeah, but you told me that a little later. I wish you told me that in the morning.
Yeah, I know.
I was picking up every phone call. We get a lot of phone calls, and I wasn't sure what phone number they'd use, so I'm picking up all these
All these scam calls, and
nonsense phone calls.
we get on our landline, we get about 30 scam calls a day. That's not
We haven't been getting
exaggerating.
that. I think that's exaggerating. Lately,
And the cell phone, we're starting to get more on the cell phone,
mm,
and I don't know. And
and I don't do text, and I don't have a smartphone, so some of the phone calls they just give a number, not a phone number.
it's a 5 number code.
Yeah,
It's not a
that
phone
is.
number, and I didn't have any
I
idea
don't know
what
what
you
that
do
is.
with that.
I have to just delete it. What else can
That's
I
all
do?
you could do is
I don't know
delete
what
it
it means.
because, first of all, you don't know what it means. And second of all, if you didn't know what it meant, you couldn't do anything about it anyway.
Because I don't do texting, so whatever.
But I would say probably more likely than not, it's somebody asking for money.
Yeah,
And
sounds like it.
uh, who calls with a
Five number.
5 number code? A number has an area code,
Yeah,
and then it has
it's not a normal phone number.
7 numbers
Yeah,
after the area code. But this has 5 numbers without an area code.
yeah. So I delete it.
So it's the only thing you can do is delete it.
And another thing, my friends know I don't text. So if I get a number and I can't get to the phone, and then I hear this thing that makes it sound like somebody's doing a text, I know, well, it's nobody I know.
That was no good. That was a bad call. And it's amazing. The only time, a lot of times when they call, they wait for Nancy to go to the bathroom, and her cell phone's in the living room, and
Yeah,
she's in the bathroom,
and that's how it
and that's when they call.
goes.
And even if they're legitimate calls, that's when they seem to call her.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to deal with cell phones.
Well, we're going to another break. I can't believe it. And this is the Nancy and Mike show. Stay tuned. Thanks.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorek.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. This is the Nancy and Mike show. And let's see, what was I talking about when we quit?
I was talking. I think I'm done. I don't know what you started talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it must have been important. But anyway, one thing that I'm interested in today, more than even the college basketball,
Whoa.
is the Boston Bruins.
Oh, hockey.
They're 1 point behind Pittsburgh, and they're 1 point behind the Islanders, New York Islanders. And yesterday, the Islanders lost to the Kings to maintain that 1 point deficit, and Boston has a game in hand.
What does game in hand mean?
Well, they played one less game. So the Islanders played 66 games and Boston played 65. You always want to have games in hand because the games that you have in hand, they already played, and you might be able to score some points in the games that you have that they already played.
Okay, I didn't figure that out. Okay,
So
thank you.
I say we got to beat Washington.
That's who they're playing today.
That's who they're playing
Capitals?
today. The Capitals, yeah. And one of the things that's bad about the Bruins, they're not a good road team.
So are they playing on the road?
Yeah. And
But the Capitals aren't that good either.
they're on the outskirts of the playoffs. And I would say this, if Washington does not win today, I think their playoff chances will go away.
Oh, so they might be
So
really trying.
it's almost a death game for Washington,
Uh-oh.
and it's an advancement game for Boston. It's a pretty critical game.
Is it going to be on TV?
Yeah, it's going to be on ABC.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know if I'm going to watch it.
Mike had to think if he watches Boston, he might hurt
I
Boston.
jinx them.
I know.
And,
He doesn't get to watch it.
we had a friend who used to live in our neighborhood. He's also a Boston fan. He said the same thing happens to him. If he listens to the Celtics or no, it's him too. That if he listens to Boston, it helps the other team. So,
Poor buddy.
and I remember in past years, and the Bruins or the Celtics would make the playoffs, and Nancy would read me the score. Well, Boston's ahead, 4-1 in the second period, and I think, well, maybe I could listen to it.
Away with it, huh?
Then the next thing you know, the other team gets 2 power play goals, and you got half the game left, and now you're ahead 4-3.
And you have to turn it off.
I say, okay, I said I gotta turn it off.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't do this to them. And
very thoughtful.
so I turn it off, and then maybe they win 6-3.
Yeah.
All right.
So very noble of you.
Yeah. But I'd rather watch the games if I could. But I know I've seen the past experience.
Well, that's what you get for having such amazing memory. Remember all these times that it didn't work.
Yeah, you're right about that. I remember one series in 1976, and some people may remember, the NBA Finals was the Boston Celtics against the Phoenix Suns. And Boston won the first 2 games at home, and they lost the 2 in Phoenix.
Uh-oh.
And they went back to Boston. It was a Friday night, and Phoenix has this guy. His name was Garfield Hurd, and he was banging in shots from all over the lot. They did not have the 3-point shot at that time, but the way he was shooting, they didn't need it. It went like 3 overtimes. And
overtime.
And in order for me to root for Boston, what I used to do is, okay, Boston needs me. I got to have a glass of iced tea.
Yep, I know. You still do it.
I still do it. And, these superstitions that come up. And anyway, during that game, I drank a whole pitcher of iced tea.
I'm not surprised.
And
see it.
I didn't get much sleep that night.
I know.
But Boston won in triple overtime.
Oh,
And then I'm thinking, boy, Sunday we got to go back to Phoenix.
That's
and Boston blew them off the court. I think that 5th game, that 3 overtime that Phoenix lost, Phoenix should have won that game. I think it devastated them because they thinking, what's the use?
You go so far, then you go further, and that hurts you.
We can't win in Boston, and game number 7 is in Boston. So they got the thing over with, and Boston was the NBA world champions that year.
1976?
1975-76 season. And I was living by myself at the time. I didn't know Nancy yet.
I know. That's when I did Jackson County Jail.
Yeah, I think Jackson County Jail was in 1976.
Oh my gosh, that's the end of the show. Woo. Well, guys, thanks for listening to us, and we'll next week we'll be here, and take care, guys.
This has been the Nancy and Mike Show. Tune in each week and become part of the conversation of the amazing journey of Nancy and Mike.